game. They play it as if it's the championship match. So no holds bars. Let's see how this round one plays out.
And immediately comes onto LBT, getting taken down almost straight away. Jonah puts him down into the dirt, but at least they find trades back, right? Now, leaving Jonah all by himself, they know that he can do it, but unfortunately, there's only 2 shots in such a small weapon. Early rounds done. Pistols are fast, as they should be, but man, so close quarters straight away. That's just Solara for you.
Yep, Solara in a nutshell, and to mention shotgun fights. And well, we got a do-over again, and this time they will have access to slightly better weaponry. Of course, for BRU, it's just this is a minor pitfall in that round 1 got slightly outgunned by PE Sports. Let's see if they can push this envelope forward a bit more.
Hopefully the Armors is going to help. Wanted to control the right side, but Zverev is able to get on the inside straight away. They need to isolate this fight, but unfortunately they already lost one. Moshi takes it out as Zverev finds a quick trade onto Wasana. Moshi is able to take out Hongxin. Get high now, takes the space and the advantage and runs with it as they close things out here on round number 2, 3-0. Wow. How did Moshi get away with this? They were able to lock him down the last time, but fighting for the center, I think that transition of trying to push out from that center point cost them too many members.
Yeah, I think Moshi probably repositioned with the mannequin too, and that basically cut line of sight, right? Because he was brought down very low, and then his health just stopped going down. So I could only assume that he repositioned, and that allowed Get High to come in with that mini Uzi for the cleanup. And that is sort of the tempo that PE Sport needs to get used to as quickly as possible, because BRU, they strike hard and fast, and often than not, the round sort of ends before you are mentally ready to respond. We are going to have a bit of a pause to make sure that our players have the optimal condition to play, and that gives us, especially PE Sports, some time to adjust.
Yep, PE Sports have a little time to think about it. If I saw the stats correctly, Wasana has gone down both of those rounds very early on. I think he only had 47 damage for the past 2 rounds, which is rather shocking since he is the entry fragger for the team. So at least for PE, that first round doesn't give you too much information. It's close quarters. It's just whoever is able to land more shots is going to win you the round. The second round was kind of interesting because they walked in with, extra armor, some upgraded weapons as well, and yet they still dropped it down due to the play coming in from Moshi picking off 2 with akimbo revolvers of all things. So let's get back into this game and find out whether or not this is a fluke or whether or not it's just a lack of economy from the side of BRU, in especially on the pistol round.
Let's see if BRU, let's see what the plan is, right? Because that UAV actually is going to be sent out, so it reveals PE's position. Moshi gets spotted out. Couple of tags, but Wasana has already found LBT. And yeah, Wasana, he's pretty much online, right in the face of Huang Shi. That's 2 down for PE.
Confidence, raw confidence. Now we see that Zverev is going to quickly get flanked almost straight away once the front line gets breached almost instantaneously. Wasana didn't even he took his time to turn around. He jumped past, took his time, reloaded, looked back, and then he already had Jonah to back him up. So in both situations here, it's just the smoke and mirrors. Pull the attention. Attention is a powerful currency in a game that requires you to have line of sight.
Yeah, that felt like a boss fight from the PoE of the PE members, right? Just Wasana just walking in a straight line and still wins.
He'll never expect this movement. Now, gear value, PE, significantly behind on this one. Rifles, all but purchased up in level 3 armors from the side of BRU. They're going to take a little bit of a different approach here, has a little bit more space to play, but they want that high ground and they want to start poking out their opponents on the opposite end.
Yeah, this is going to force PE Sports to split formation and isolate them. In benefits of BRU, the glue wall is going to keep Zverev trapped, and Wasana claims another elimination. And the Get High is going to have some time to heal back out, whereas the rest of PE Sports now are completely in the rough spot with not much utility to work with as well.
So on the opposite end, looking on the outside to make sure that Moshi doesn't get too much value here, as we see the rest of BRU slowly cutting down onto these glue walls, breaking them down one by one to slowly push them back into the corner as LBT finally goes down and executed by the help of Jonah and Huang Shi, the next to fall. Yep, as expected, Sichuan as well. All lined up for this quick kills. What a fast round coming out for BRU. They lost it as soon as they won this round as soon as they were able to block off Zverev's Orion from actually escaping with a glue wall of their own.
Yeah, and it's also the setup from BRU, the double ice grenade, to not only deal chip damage to PE, but to force them to split. Zverev walked forward, and his teammates backed off. And that's where the rush begun. The rest was history. BRU, again, just a tactical brilliance in terms of how they approach these tight corners. And the usage of the ice grenades as well. They make sure to cover as much area as possible so that regardless of where PE moves, they are forced to take the damage.
Yeah, I'm rather surprised that Sichuan didn't get like a deeper cryo mind, right, to try and control that space. But again, they're going to do it very early on. And finally, even the cryo mind is going to come out as Wasana's going to find first blood almost straight away onto Huangshi. Their front line has significantly got weaker, but at the very least, oh no, Moshi, he catches LBT, and now Get High is going to hold him in place as Moshi is going to hold the position, allowing Get High and as well as their brothers to catch back up on the opposite end. And here comes Wasana. He wants part of this too.
And Jonah went for the boost, and Wasana, he's going to clean all of them up. They had no idea that Wasana was behind them. There's still a glue wall between the remaining PE members and Wasana, but Wasana gets to do whatever he wants. Moshi in the red, Wasana fighting it out. It's only Zverev in between them. And Zverev loses the fight. Sichuan in a 1v2. Get High gets picked back up. And now 1v3 in favor of BRU.
Quickly, it's just trying their best to get a little bit of economy back. And unfortunately for Sichuan, he was on the low ground, so he couldn't see any of that action unless Wasana was like hopping the fence. And finally, they close out the round. BRU just demolishing that front line. This almost straight away. PE, they just have to make sure they don't lose a member that early.
I mean, the angle from Moshi too was perfect to put on suppressive fire onto PE Sports. And there was a short time frame where PE had the advantage. Jonah went for the shoulder boost, got taken out instead. And at that point in time, PE had the numbers, but they just did not expect Wasana to come in for the flank. And this guy is now sitting at a 6-1 and 3 KDA.
Yep. The weapons coming out for BRU starting to look a little devastating here with PE. Not optimal, but should be good enough. We're hoping that Huangshi is able to find something here, as now the UAV is being thrown out from both sides, ensuring full information about what's going on. Now, BRU on the northern side is going to be looking to get into the secondary factory compound to start their flanks off, but Jonah needs to hold his position, and unfortunately loses out the trade. Time Turner coming in for Zera just in time to buy him some time, quickly using the Orion to ensure the knockdown, willing to give up his life for it, as Moshi takes out Huangshi. No shotgun action for you, a good headshot to try and close out this round, turning this into a 2v1.
Yeah, LBT also got picked off screen too, so once more down to just the narrow. Sichuan not really much in the tank in this round. The rest of BRU will hunt him down to get themselves the 5th round of this map. And I gotta say, individually, Zverev has a pretty good moment, right? The way he outmaneuvered Jonah was one for the highlights, but again, it's just the translation wasn't really there. He wins the 1v1, but then his teammates get picked off. So it didn't really amount to the advantage that PE Sports were looking for.
And that's the thing. I'm not like 100% sure because they don't have a decent way to deal with multiple glue walls at once. And I think that's the biggest problem. Multiple glue walls at once when it's like dropped after the cryo mind, right? Especially in a place that doesn't have access to that singular ability. That's when it becomes an even bigger problem because at least for BRU, they can hold back on their util and just wait a little bit longer to find those key moments. And immediately they find a pincer maneuver onto Zverev, unable to respond in time with the help of the Valiant dash. As center ground is taken, PE Sports are forced to give it up, and Jonah takes out LBT. Damage mitigation don't mean much. Sichuan trying to take as many shots as possible. Finally Get High gets taken out with a little bit of help from Huangshi, who finally goes down, turning this into a 3v1 in almost less than a minute.
It's the classic BRU gameplay here. A rude awakening for PE Sports, especially the newer members who have yet to face off BRU in an official match. This is the pace that they will have to play with for the rest of the series as BRU very convincing.
PE Sports, they got to show us something here and now to make the difference. Immediately a clue pop just to see information where exactly they're going to be. They quickly take the teleporter as well as the rest of BRU is going to take the center ring. Moshi quickly gets out just in time to regroup with his team. And now Asana in the mix, trying to take out as many PE members as possible. He finds one, looking for a second one, but not enough shots are landing on Wasana while the rest of the team quickly swarms out and cleans up the rest. Sichuan and Zverev go down as LBT is able to find one more. No, it's not enough. Zverev and Sichuan were just enough.
Another pistol round goes over to PE Sports, and I honestly thought that BRU will win this one because I thought that's a jump scare moment, right? A big Ignis Flame Mirage from the back, I think tagging 3 members of PE. But hey, if there's any consolation prize, we know that if everyone has pistols, the odds are better. But in game 1, this was where things started to go downhill for PE when BRU starts to get their hands on some proper weaponry other than just mere pistols. PE Sports, they're going to stack up and go towards the left side of the map, but Moshi will take a teleporter and might intercept some of them.
Oh, it looks both sides went for the 2-2 split here with Santino cutting across the center as well. Moshi, unfortunately, goes down, and now it's a man advantage coming in for PE Sports. This could be their moment to take another round off of BRU to start their momentum. They're going to take their time with it. They have full control here, and now they spotted Jonah on that top side. Xerath is taking out shots at anybody who exposes themselves on his side of the map.
Yeah, great punish there because Moshi took the teleporter and it was 4 PE members right in front of him. And Jonah being pinned down as well by Xerath means that BRU needs to rely on Wasana or Get High to get an opening. But unfortunately, they don't have the utilities online. Get High has already used his Flame Mirage and the rest of their abilities are on cooldown. So PE gets to slow the game down.
As much as they want to slow it down, at the same time, with micro Uzis, who knows if they're able to close the distance. That low ground is dangerous, and PE Sports are aware of it. They've got Huangshi on the opposite end just to make sure that, hey, we know every single angle. BRU don't. And I think they're just waiting for a little bit longer to get their active abilities back up. Get High has no charges. Jonah still has plenty of time, and the same goes for even Wasana. You should be able to pop it off just in time with the Zane. And now, hopefully, Xerath takes the first initiation because at least he has iframes to deal with it.
There's a 3-man stack as well for PE Sports. On that low ground, Huangshi will be playing by the perimeter. And I think Wasana might have to be the first one to make the move. Jonah makes the call right now as BRU is going to force herself into the center. Maybe we'll just come down to a Hail Mary 4v3. The Flaming Rush gets dropped. Jonah taking some pot shots, but it will be a 2v3 in this area. We see the Orion being used as well, and that is more than enough to give PE Sports the second round.
And that's exactly how PE Sports have to play. Find that man advantage. Let BRU come to you. Use your superior weaponry and don't lose a brother. Xerath coming in here is especially important that he is the first person who actually takes aggression from BRU because his iframes is just that good. But at the same time, he's going to make sure that he's gotten all the attention of the members of BRU rather than just one. Because, well, the secondary fragger is probably going to take a hellstorm full of bullets if that is the case.
And it's kind of a slower game pace. Definitely feels like it benefits PE slightly more if the Orion gets to play that bait and switch. But BRU still continuing to play a more aggressive front. And now less the ice grenades opening thanks to the Steffi. Doors going to get put up. The smoke grenades doesn't make it any easier for BRU in particular.
Oh,
as their glue walls get shot down very quickly.
This is really smart from the side of PE, using the smokes using early smokes instead of early glue walls to block line of sight. And now Moshi turns the corner and manages to find Sichuan. Huangshi is able to trade out against Jonah, but here comes Ignis as he's slowly going to clear up that way on that high ground. Moshi has to keep these flankers at bay, and while weaving in the shots whenever he can, as Wasana jumps on into this next fight, LBT takes out Wasana with the MP5, and Get High finally goes down. LBT is taking out the high ground, and it's all up to Moshi to land just enough shots to close this round out, but PE Sports close it out first.
3 rounds in a row for PE Sports, and just better weaponry making the difference in this round. Wasana only having a mini Uzi, unfortunately, just could not stand up to what LBT has in his hands. And the economy is what's giving PE Sports the advantage. And at least this is the closer fight that we've been wanting to see. BRU being put on the back foot.
That's 3 rounds back-to-back wins for PE Sports. Now BRU finally on the recovery path, right? They're getting extra gear value here. They got VSSs on their side, and immediately shots being fired through mid just to show presence. But the gondola control is going to be important here for this side of the factory.
This time switching to more of a long-range warfare, triple stack from BRU. 2 of them onto the gondola. Moshi and Get High will work together as Jonah again receives attention from 2 of the PE members. This will be a point of distraction for BRU to aggress forward, but I think PE has spotted them.
They know that their members on this gondola making their way forward. Oh, the Cryoman is in a perfect spot. Zeref. Wait, Zeref is all by himself, but he's got LBT nearby. He even drops the smoke just in case. The Ignis wall does come through. The Mirage is done. LBT gets shot from the back. From the side to get high. Wasana finally goes down. Zeref has found the trade. Can he get another one here? He goes for the execute instead. Turns the corner. He should be able to find it. And there we have it. Get high. Still alive for some reason. Zeref finally takes him out with plays. They've traded 2 for 2 so far. They might be able to get high is just way too far, but Moshi does come to save the day. He hops over the gondola side and is actually able to bring on another member. He can get a revive down here, and that could turn the tides against Situan.
It was pretty close. I think Zeref was doing a fantastic job in outmaneuvering that strategic-wise, but sadly, BRU just better in these gunfights. And Moshi is the one that saves the day. Situan actually fights 2 of them. Wait a minute, there is a chance now. He's down to Jonah. Can Situan make the clutch happen? 1 shot away. And Jonah saves the day.
Oh my goodness. The blue was already dealing a decent amount of damage. The heroics coming up from Zeref's side ended up not going the way that he wanted to here. Took a little too long to get the Moshi. He loses a good chunk of his life while he was at it. Didn't realize that Moshi hopped to the opposite side, and once this fight hand, just a good shot coming in from Moshi. Oh, that's gonna be a tough pill to swallow for PE.
Yeah, I can't believe that BRU was able to pull this back. But also, when Zeref was making his outplay happen, they actually ended up sacrificing LBT, who got caught in a crossfire trying to support Zeref. So that sort of also contributed to PE Sports being down 1 man. Very small margin of error that costed them the round. Either way, they are still ahead. And Zeref, he's going to be the one that takes initiative this time. Jonah around the corner against Huang Shi. The reload has to come through. Jonah still somehow wins.
Up, and Huang Shi just didn't react fast enough to it. Now get high. He knows he's getting pushed right now. Quickly drops that. Regroups with the rest of his team. Okay, 1 wall already down, but Zeref does lose out on 1 charge of his invulnerability. As Wasana goes for the chase, Situan needs to hold back everybody else. Peel off Moshi and get high, but they find consecutive shots one after the other, and the rest of PE just collapse underneath this pressure.
Yeah, Wasana just went on the hunt for Zeref. And I think that's one of the ways to stop the aggression as well, right? We talk about needing ways to set up roadblocks, and BRU have the perfect solution to that. Wasana will end up going down, but the rest of BRU will avenge him pretty quickly. So this is the 2nd round in a row for BRU as they start to build up the economy.
Yeah, I mean, the gondola control is always great, but at the same time, it looks like PE opted to try and take on the full front line, or at the very least start pushing them into a position where they can try and corner. Unfortunately, just not enough, but they save so much econ here for the side of BRU. Well, except for Wasana, but everybody else manages to maintain their current standings.
CBRU now having that VSS online. And I think Moshi even has has a AW in hand. Misses the first shot, but does see the drop down from PE Sports. And an immediate trade happened. Huang Shi and Wasana take each other out. Get high actually being blasted by LBT with the Trogon. Jonah a bit far away from the rest of his team. And BRU will have to play 2v4.
2v4. And Huang Shi as well as Situan will be able to get a full reset here. Wait, Huang Shi doesn't actually have a medkit, unfortunately. This could be punishable. Let's find out. Jonah turns the corner. Huang Shi finally goes down to Situan as well. They found the 2 members that they were looking for. Zeref, he's trying his best to buy some time here as he's slowly weaving out Jonah. Jonah doesn't want to make this happen again. He remembers the last time. He's going to quickly move out. He doesn't know if he has a second charge, but he will finish off another. Moshi does end up taking out Situan. Can you find this next one? All right. Huang Shi out of the game. Now a beautiful 2v2, but Trogon's in hands, and even a Tommy gun from LBT's side. He can put a lot of pressure if they're in the mid-range.
Jonah taking matters into his own hand. When push comes to shove, when all the chips are down, everyone from BRU turns into an individual army. Moshi now finally joins the kill feed as he takes out Zeref. This started as a 4v2 in favor of PE and is now down to a 2v1 in favor of BRU. LBT takes a shot from Moshi. This should be the round for BRU. Jonah shuts the showdown, and I cannot believe BRU pulls this back.
I can't believe it either. This moment here, just waiting on the initial smoke, right? You can definitely tell that Zeref had the right idea, but the execution just half a second too late. Had the smoke popped out just a little bit sooner, and maybe you just dodged a couple more shots, he could have lived that round. But unfortunately enough, his aggression did get punished at the end of the day as Jonah was able to disengage from the fight.
Yeah, when until chat sees this, they're probably still looking at the earlier rounds and thinking that PE has a chance. But man, when it came to this moment, just a very drawn-out sequence, a bit reminiscent of what AG Global did against Fluxo in the Global Finals last year. It was also on Nextera, on the exact location, and Moshi, with a great pop onto C2, takes him out.
Yeah, I'm just unaware of this angle, and now they're going to be fighting for the high ground once again, and it's a dangerous spot to be in, but at the very least, they got Super Bonfires to work on their side. Finally, the Ignis Flame Walls start to come out. The Mirage is good, and BRU completely collapsed this side of the map, leaving Wangxi by himself. He is able to get out one of his members into Sichuan, but again, it's a 2v4 scenario, one of which Moshi is not going to take lightly. The Cryomine is going to get thrown on top of him. He breaks it almost straight away and now needs to reposition to the higher ground as Wasana looks to cut him off, and there you have it. Another victory going over to BRU.
BRU regaining that mojo, but this shot, with a 624 damage, basically shattering the helmet of Sichuan. There really isn't any way to come back from that. BRU now leads the series in this game 4-3, and that's 4 rounds in a row.
We're gonna get reverse sides here. 4 rounds in a row, plenty of momentum, good equipment to work with, signature weapons being purchased as well. Wasana with a Winchester in hand, level 3 at the very least, is able. Wait, actually, hold on. It's a 3-on-2 here. 2 UAVs were actually used. They know it. Yeah, 3-on-3 now with a late rotation.
Oh, she's going to make contact with Jonah very soon, and there's not even a chance given. Jonah with the drop shot. Death from above. LBT getting pinned down as well. The rest of PE Sports actually were locked out of the Graph Labs. And every time they try to come through, Moshi is there ready and waiting with his AWM as the rest of BRU just run straight at PE Sports. They are willing to trade bodies because they have the numbers, but Zverev holds them back, finds 2 in a row.
Now it's the same 2v2 once again. Oh, tries to jump over, and Jonah gets punished for it. Sichuan's able to shoot him halfway across the map. This is his moment right here. So Moshi is going to try his very best, but even LBT and Zverev need to work together. They realize that they don't have medkits. Any shots, any picks here is valuable, and Sichuan puts Moshi down finally as they bring back one of their members. Good stuff coming in from PE.
Yeah, great punish from Zverev. He has already shown some great individual plays, but this was the moment that Zverev decided to really wrestle fate into his own hands. A great angle, separated from the rest of his team. So when BRU went for the rush, they had no idea that Zverev was on the other side of it. Great spray down from mid-air and allowing PE Sports to keep tabs to BRU's scoreline.
All right, it looks like we got a real game here, right? 4-4, the current scoreline. Let's see now, because now the next cyber airdrop is already here. Is this a contestable point for PE, or are they just going to let this round be? In terms of weapon areas, I am seeing Trogons being purchased by PE Sports, not to mention good number of long-range rifles. On the opposite side, Winchester's upgraded as well. Hand cannons, a Trogon coming in from Wasana as well. Early damage as well as they contest for the high point. Zverev trying his best to get high off of this spot, and finally he gets him. Even with the Ignis wall, at the very least, they've started to burn down the blue walls to open up these angles some more as LBT takes out Get High. Luckily, Moshi blocked off from the angle as Wasana now gets punished.
Yeah, Wasana was really trying to get something done, but it's a 4 stack from PE Sports. Jonah chips away the health bar, but they needed knockdowns. It's all in the hands of Mochi, the 1v4. And doesn't look very possible. PE Sports looking at their 5th round right now, and Mochi will need just a heroic play, but with no health, virtually no health to work with. This is going to be PE Sports putting themselves on match point.
Triple kill.
Oh, and there we go. They've got match point just like they were looking for. This is a dangerous moment here. This might turn it into a 1-1 and go straight into game 3 if things play out exactly how they're supposed to play out. It looks like PE have figured out a pattern against BRU. They know when they're going to start contesting for these cyber airdrops, more so than playing flexibly around rounds that don't have them. With 3 in the bag here, it's a lot of economy that they can work for. And honestly, they need to use it right now if they want to close out this game against BRU.
And great punish onto Wasana as well. I think it definitely might have been some miscommunication there from BRU, the continuous commitment into basically a blind zone. It costed them some of those trades with PE Sports willing to stick together through thick and thin. And BRU gonna be pinged out by the UAV as well. So they know that Moshi is gonna be playing far on the southwestern side.
But then if BRU get a little too aggressive here, they cross certain thresholds, there's no coming back from them. They're going to be exposed to 3 different angles. And BRU understand that. And now they just want to control the center point for the time being, right? As they realize that there's actually more free space on the right-hand side, you just notice that some of the members, they're starting to split off to that southern side.
Yeah, and I think Holy PE Sport will capitalize on this. Because Wasana is deathly close to LBT. Another ping there. They know that there is some plans to aggress from the side of BRU. That's why PE Sports, they're going to reconvene back with LBT. And those intel so important.
It's so important, but it doesn't feel like they're doing much with it, right? They're not repositioning for it. They're just regrouping. There's 2 calls that could have been made there, whether the 3 joins back with the 1 or the 1 joins back with the 3. Either way, they're playing on the outside of this ring, and they need to start taking space now because BRU are covering all the angles here, and even Moshi with a flank angle of his own if they start walking away from the center point.
They did see the mannequin, though, so they can take it out to basically leave Moshi stuck. Wasana comes back in to reinforce that position. It's pretty important for the Santino to work with, and then Nate comes in, get high, being chipped down low, and PE Sports springs into action. Wasana actually goes down. Zera with a good initiative to thin out the numbers of BRU. Get high only trades for 1, and that's not good enough. BRU needs more, but Jonah ends up getting taken out, and once more it's down to Moshi. 1v3 as PE Sports breaks through the ranks of BRU and looks to take the second map. Moshi finds LBT, but Zverev will... 500 on Huangshi's hand. Get high with the double revolver. Getting a 3v3 right in front. The Ignis Wall is going to get some chip damage done, but thanks to LBT, the Electrotherapy is going to keep his teammates topped up as LBT takes the chip damage himself. Good reposition on all around. Wasana taking the fight straight to C21 with have a get high. It's a 1-for-1.
And immediately both sides are looking for attempts at these flanks. Jonan as well. Sichuan ended up getting caught in the unfortunate crossfire, trying to transition as they regroup into each other. High ground is down as Huangshi is dead. Zeref and LBT have to make this work. Wasana, Moshi, and as well as Get High slowly encapsulating every angle compound to ensure that they can hold it. And they found initially 1, but Zeref was able to take him down. And in trade with the sight of his own, Wasana is going to clean the rest up. That's at least 1 point in the bag for BRU.
Zeref trying to make the hero play with the help of Huangshi. That casting Electrotherapy, if he healed Zeref up a bit more, that could have been a comeback moment because he had the sight in hand, but thankfully Wasana was able to take him out before things got out of control. So BRU winning the first pistol round in this series. And I mean, PE Sport made it pretty close. We are starting to see this Cassie Zane is as strong as they have been since release.
Yep, able to take a lot of shots there. Unfortunately, timed out. By the time BRU were looking to go for a full commitment, Zeref, LBT, as well as Huangshi trying to control the center from the top. Bonfire is going to keep them topped up for the time being as Moshi keep position here. A great flank angle, in a matter of fact, as they look to turn the corner here. Zeref, a little bit of trouble. Jonah, the first to go down, as far as able to find at least a trade back. Wasana takes on 2 at the very least, and now Huangshi and Sichuan in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and Wasana got taken down. Huangshi and C21, both with the Deagle, finding 1. There is an opportunity there. Get high, mini Uzi in hand. We'll have to get up close and personal, but I guess the Deagle is not going to be easy. Get high, popped by Huangshi on the roof. And PE Sports equalizes.
Tough balls all across the board. Really, really tough balls, especially when it gets this chaotic. How else are you going to try and pull through? And that's the scary part, right? Only this whole set, great idea. But at the same time, you need to hold space for a reason. If not, you have to give it back up, especially when you have somebody who's covering your back.
See, BRU, they are one of the few teams that sort of like Heavy, right? They're willing to rush at you, but with higher rate of success. for this round, they won't have the weaponry to do so. Pretty weak in terms of arsenal, whereas for PE Sports, they can be looking to take that compound as fast as possible. You see that bonfire already laid down, but PE Sports makes it to the second floor. First, Zverev catches Wasana. Great interception.
It's only going to get worse from this point onward unless Zverev gets out and takes out Jonah at the same time. Sichuan as well as LBT need to put on their work into Get High. They've already traded as much as they possibly could. They have set themselves up for success, and they managed to get it right at the right time. Let's look at the replay to see right one more. Wasana was the first to go down. It almost immediately Jonah wasn't able to put this knock onto Zverev. Could have changed it all.
Yeah, even Get High, right? He was buying so much time, but sadly, this trade happened. I think if Get High was able to get away and buy a bit more space for Moshi, maybe BRU would have been able to make a comeback. But with weaker weaponries, it was pretty impressive for them to push that far and that deep in. The UAV is going to be deployed, 2 of them by PE Sports. A 3-1 split as always. Moshi with the Santino now looking to find a good position to play around, but unfortunately, most of the openings are going to be blocked out by PE Sports. Not to mention they have the clue as well.
Well, and now they pop out all the recon as soon as they can. Having full control of the cyber airdrop at this point in time, PE is quickly going to claim it, and now they have to worry about the fight. It's going to be happening on 2 fronts. Wasana needs to reposition. That one tiny little pillar ain't going to keep him safe, especially with the angles that PE Sports potentially have access to on the far back side of that roof. Moshi, once again, gonna have to reposition with the rest of this team. They want to control the center of the map and let the blue do the rest.
They've already lost Azera from the get-go as well, and that's the tip of the spear for PE Sports. BRU looking to break the components one by one. Hongxi is going to be able to take that high ground and control one side of the map, but without this Zane to work with, there really isn't an optimal target for the Casty to tether onto. And that's the front line of PE Sports out of the game as well.
Yeah, at this point, with the man advantage, BRU just have to wait, right? They just have to wait until the blue starts pushing them in right until the very edge. There's no point taking the risk of going into that high ground. Sichuan, he's just looking for a potential pickoff, right? If BRU get a little too overconfident, they know that they're going to be on that left side. Allow the information from Get High to send the response. And it looks like Jordan finds a pick onto LBT, and now all hell breaks loose. Kasana jumps onto Huang Xin, pouncing on the last remaining members of PE Sports to turn it 2-2.
Slow and surgical from BRU. Definitely one of the more patient games for them, but it all worked out. I think it got PE Sports slightly jittery as well, right? When they don't have the clue to ping the members of BRU, and BRU cuts noise, really forces PE Sports to go on the exploration a bit more, and that's where PRU pounces. Now they've recovered the economy just by a little bit to get even with PE Sports. Let's see if they can transition that into a lead.
I mean, now it's with the upgraded armors as well, level 2 armors from the side of PE, except for LBT, who sacrificed his helmet for level 3 armor. The opposite end, the RU coming in with some decent weaponry of their own. No AWMs, but at least they got AC-80s and Tommies ready to go. UAV is going to spot out the first flanks here, but I don't think they realize it. Wait, Wasana, he's already down. Zverev turns the corner, sees the rest of them, and PE, they've got an opportunity to punish.
Yeah, good stuff, honestly, from Zverev again with the pickoffs. It's a couple of pot shots from multiple angles. Get High will also receive the same treatment, needs to heal back up. PE Sports will now try to get to him before the medkit gets deployed. Moshi with a jump shot onto Hongxi, but LBT with an instant exchange is going to be able to stem the bleeding just by a little bit. PE Sports still have the man advantage.
All right, Jonah and Get High, it's their moment. I doubt that they're going to be able to 2v3 this, especially against these Zane combinations. There's just so many bullets that they can take, bullet sponges, in a matter of fact, in their own right. It's going to be real tough for him in the 3v1 scenario, all having high rate of fire weapons ready to go as well, and able to find upgrades of their own. Really, really sad for Jonah, but what can he do? Stuck in a corner.
He did take down Zverev, and an instant pickup allows Zverev to get back up on his feet and get the triple too.
Finding these moments, right? Finding these small plays that make all the difference. And at least for BRU's side, it's not like they're being hyper aggressive. Right? It's about the timing of initiation. I think they started to figure it out already on how PE Sports makes their decisions, which is why they're taking this hit and run approach, right? Fast on the attack, and then you slow down the fight all of a sudden. Just make sure the tempo is on your side.
Yeah. And now at peak, this is going to change the playing field a little bit. The utilities from the side of BRU slightly less effective, especially at least the Santino. PE Sports gonna have to stem the bleeding a little bit. The cyber airdrop controlled by LBT, the Ignis Wall is not gonna deter them too much because of that smoke grenade. And they're willing to aggress as well. LBT and Zeref once more sticking together, and now they're rushing forward into Wasana and Get High. The wall goes down. Wasana repositions but Get High abandoned by his team. LBT gets tagged, and Wasana with the knockdown.
Oh, such a close shoot. The idea was there from LBT. Unfortunately, gets punished for it. Just hops over, baits out the initial Valiant dash. Now, the rest of them quickly look to put this down to Derek. Trying to pepper as many of the members as possible. Even finds a trade in the middle of that fight, but Huangqi does not have enough firepower to get through all of them, but manages to at least get high. Jonah able to bring back at least one of the members. Wasana able to get back on his feet. Huangqi can just land 3 consecutive shots here, one of them being a headshot. That would be great, but now BRU are coming back to full fighting strength, unable to waste any more time. Jonah losing 75% of his health, and Moshi, he's not peeking anytime soon. He doesn't have any heals on him. Gotta wait for the attempt to get drawn away before he tries.
Yeah, this is gonna be the equalizer for BRU. Moshi through the Flame War too. And BRU keeping it close. 3-3 so far. I mean, I honestly thought that on peak this would benefit PE slightly more, but thank goodness BRU was able to stop this initial rush.
No, I don't know. This one's a really tough one to call, right? Because PE, even though they give away that first frag to BRU, they've shown that they're able to recover it to varying degrees over these past 6 rounds. And the same goes for BRU as well, right? You can never count them out. Coming into this next one, in terms of just raw gear, we're looking at level 3s all across the board. The only person who doesn't have it is Jonah, who has damaged armor, but he'll make the best of it. LBT just still, again, refusing to wear a helmet.
Yep. That's the trooper mindset. If I get shot in the head, I'm going down anyway. So might as well, just don't get headshotted.
Just don't get headshotted. No big deal. No big deal. Plenty of super bonfires lying out everywhere. But PE is taking a very slow approach to this, and BRU now just fortifying the entry points onto this dock side, making sure that they can't get close to the center at the very least. Now, Mirage Walls are going to be coming out. Flame Mirage Walls are going to be coming out pretty soon as smokes are being deployed on that side, and BRU might make a full loop around. The clue stops them. They can't move at this point. If not, they'll give away the information.
They finally take out the mannequin as well, because I thought that they missed that. That would have been a backstab moment for Moshi. But either way, these glue walls are going to keep PE at bay for now. It's not the easiest to move on forward to this labyrinth of glue wall, and not to mention they had some smoke grenades at the ready, another Ignis Wall to force PE Sports to back off. Not the best angle, but it does cut off that low ground support and make this on a technicality, a 3v3, as they bring Moshi back in as well.
Okay. LBT now trying to take a space in. Valiant dash already through. Wasana's in, and they take out the first 2. Zeref and Get High go down as the next ball is LBT. Moshi getting a great hell shot at the LBT while he is down, but that's just fast, quick work, great initiation. Look at this. Trying to hold the front line. Everything goes on the breakthrough, and even time turners to guarantee that he is safe. Really good stuff from the BRU side.
Absolutely no time for P to react at all. Within a fraction of a second, that round was won for BRU. Still, at least for PE Sports, they got some decent weapons to work with. Still the AWM in the hands of Huangqi to do a running back on the same area, but both teams starting on different sides this time. the high ground should belong to P Esports in the beginning. BRU going for 4-man stack rotation, but they were pinged up by the clue earlier on.
Yeah, which is kind of strange, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, right? Because this is a lot of space for P Esports to take so willy-nilly, right? We don't see the inevitable punish just yet. Mannequin also being dropped down at the same time here. Doesn't find any space. Nope, not really. Not at all as it gets taken out. The UAV still revealing the majority of the positions of the P Esports members. So, again, the fight is still going to line up into the same corner right here. And unfortunately for Sichuan, loses this 1v1, gets his head blown off instantaneously in the initiation for the rest of BRU. Sichuan gets back on his feet. Unfortunately for LBT, does not meet the worst fate. Moshi, the next to fall here, is getting high, tries to board it. Sichuan, unfortunately. Wait, actually, he does find the initial trade. And now Jonah and Wasana now need to deal with the last member here of Huangxin, who's unfortunately locked out of the fight.
He has the best weapon on his team, the AWM. Can he make this work? A 1v3 though, it's going to take a very tall effort. And with the rest of BRU rushing at him, it's going to be impossible. Wasana with the cleanup. BRU at series point with that play. And this round win all started with not just, the aggressiveness from BRU, but also the individual pickoffs, right? Moshi was able to find a pickoff Sichuan at the start, but when Wasana broke through with the Valiant Dash, you basically isolated the key members of P Esports. LBT and Zerov were not able to stick together, so no electrotherapy sustained throughout the fight. Zerov just got manhandled by Wasana.
There's no good responses when there is time for BRU to not only set up the battle lines, but also set up when they can initiate. And Wasana has been that guy, especially since he has more than enough economy, not only to Valiant Dash, but also purchase an active skill card and Time Turner as well. Oh, and there we go. Wasana able to show off his AC-80 skills that he's been working for the past 8 months. Already takes one man with him. Sichuan, fortunately, gets back on his feet. Doesn't have any more heals. All damage is permanent from this point onwards.
And this is going to be crunch time for P Esports because they are bleeding out resources, but they also have zero control of key areas on the map, right? They have no high ground control, and they have no way to contest those high ground control as well. You can't really fight back because if you step into the open, you're going to face retaliation. The weapons on P Esports doesn't make it any better as well. Zerov takes a 1v1, loses to Moshi, and Moshi escapes with the mannequin.
Oh, I'm surprised he won that, but I thought that Zerov was able to try and turn that around. But unfortunately, with him going down, this entire composition starts to crack, right? LBT is the only support left, as long as she needs to stay far back. And Sichuan, again, just waiting for her pings to come back up in just in time, but it's not looking good as low ground now getting sieged. They have to watch the entryways.
Wasana in a prime position as well. If LBT ever pops his head out here, Wasana will get a freebie. And not just that, the crossfire is also set up perfectly. Moshi and Get High, all in the perfect position, regardless of where P Esports is going to decide to make their exit.
The clue is going to ping all their positions out, all their hiding spots, they quickly reposition onto the lower ground to lock them in place. Wasana, he does have the Valiant Dash. He could make something happen, and yes, he makes the attempt, trying to put as much damage into these boys and turn. Whoa! Whoa! A quick 360 to finish.